You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it.
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wool Dog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
We won a football game. We won. Hi.
And let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Hi, guys. I'm also really excited that we won.
I, too, am also excited for the win.
I don't have any special dance or anything, but I am excited. Just know that.
All right, gang. We are coming off of the win against the Houston Texans. Normally we do an instant reaction, but we were all scattered across the solar winds. We could not be.
Yeah.
We weren't able to get together to do an instant reaction. We apologize. We'll tighten it up for the next win, but we are here now, and we are here to talk about this glorious win. We got lots to talk about here, folks. Lots of players to look at. Lots of stats to go over, some post-game quotes. We've got an Ask Boltfam. And do we have anything else lined up here, Kevin?
I think that's it.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
sure,
let's just jump right into it. Let's not wait.
Nailed it.
Let's wait no longer, folks. Let's talk about this guy, this rookie, this sixth rounder out of Georgia that everybody said, how could he fall to the sixth round? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
He's not
damn thing, folks.
He's not athletic enough, is what they said.
I don't know what they were saying, but they were
get out of here. That's just the biggest
wrong.
cop out to not draft somebody. What do you mean you're not athletic enough? You played at
Who
Georgia.
said that? Give me names. I want addresses.
Seriously,
Starting left tackle at
receipts.
Georgia that had like one pressure his entire senior year, and he goes out there and keeps him perfect.
Look, I don't care if we were playing the Texans and their pass rush is an elite. You still, no matter what, getting what he did of 0 pressures in the NFL is a big deal. You are good enough to play in the NFL at that position, even if you're playing the worst team in the league. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's extremely impressive to be consistent throughout the whole game like that.
And
Crazy.
for those that aren't aware, we are talking about Jamari
Oh, sorry.
Salyer.
We buried the lead on that.
I know.
one.
We really started going
Everybody
at it,
knew.
and we didn't. I am sure everybody listening knows, but we're talking about Jamari Salyer, only the highest pass blocking graded tackle in week 4. Jamari Salyer,
That's
90.4.
over Andrew Thomas, who had 88.5.
Andrew Thomas, Tristan Wirfs, Trent Brown, Lane Johnson, all subpar comparatively to Jamari Salyer.
To our
And
6th round draft pick.
I went back and watched the game again and literally just watched him. He got up into that second level when the run game started to take off. He was up in that second level catching dudes. And we finally got the run game going eventually. And I'm so thrilled. I'm not happy that we lost Slater, but the fact that we have somebody that is such a huge step over Storm Norton, and we all kind of were hoping, we didn't know what we would see, but he showed up, man. Showed up big time, and kept our boy clean. That's all you can ever ask of an offensive lineman.
Absolutely, yes. And not only was he the highest pass blocking graded tackle in week 4, he was the highest graded offensive player in week 4 for the Chargers at a 78.6. 40 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures allowed, 0 sacks allowed. This guy played out of his mind and played like he should have been in that position the whole time.
Yeah.
It makes me question why we didn't just do this from the beginning, from the get-go.
Yeah.
Well, you have Rashawn Slater, so you got an all-pro over there.
I mean,
but
since
at the
Rashawn
right
Slater
side-
went down, like,
There
hey,
wasn't
man,
a place for him, yeah.
No, that's what the crazy part, right? He wasn't prepared for this because if he was even somewhat working at tackle, they would have popped him in last week. But obviously, Storm Norton was the backup. Jamari was not even getting reps at tackle, or they would have put him in. So he had 3 practices to prepare for NFL level left tackle play, and he absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
did a fantastic job. So happy for him. So proud of him. Yeah.
I'm just proud.
Round of-
That's a
round of
golf clap.
applause.
Gotta give him a golf clap.
For Mr. Sawyer. Nick Cathrell tweeted out, Chargers rookie Jamari Sawyer said Rashawn Slater has been a valuable resource during this process. Anything he could pretty much press upon me before the game, and even during the game, he was there coaching me on the sideline. He's been there every step of the way.
And I don't know if you guys saw this. I went back and did a freeze frame, and I'll send you the picture. But Slater was out on the field, and he ran out high-fiving people with his bad arm.
I didn't even see that. No.
He was out on the field. I had to pause it. It was on one of the social media posts. I'm like, holy shit, he's coming back this year. He's coming back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Honestly, kind of surprised he traveled with the team. I thought he would be home recovering.
He just had like a black sleeve on his arm. That was it. I'll text it to you right now.
Well, so the high fives, I'm guessing that's an exercise, because you got to push up.
Got to strengthen.
When you're tackled. So let's start slow with high fives.
Got to strengthen.
And work our way up. Seeing
it's with the bad arm too. I'm messaging you guys right now. This is crazy. Bad arm, Charger, chat, send.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
While we're waiting for that sweet, sweet text, we also got to talk about Jamari Sawyer getting the game ball at the end of this. I mean, seeing Coach Staley come out.
Was that a real size football? Did you guys see the picture of him holding it? It looks like a little Nerf
He's
ball.
a big boy.
His hands must be this big. He was holding it. I looked at it with my dad, and Dad's like, "That's not a real football." I'm like, "Dad, I'm pretty sure that's a real football." It looks miniature in his hands. It's insane.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
Wow, yeah, look at that picture. There's Rashawn Slater, black
You know
sleeve
what?
on the arm.
I think we should probably show
it.
it. Can we show it to everybody? Can we take a little? Let's take a little.
Sure. All right, folks, here is the picture in question. We see the guys coming out onto the field. We see Austin Johnson there, DeAndre Carter, and to DeAndre Carter's left, camera right.
That's Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater getting
high-fiving with his bad arm.
With a black sleeve on his arm. So maybe he's hopped up on some drugs and he's not feeling no pain and able to give a high five.
Get out there and coach, and good work. I'm so stoked that they came together and he's helping him.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's awesome to hear that he's able to help Jamari Slater. I mean, because we've seen Rashawn Slater's been working with Duke Manyweather in the offseason and has come out and just, obviously now rookie Pro Bowler Rashawn Slater, able to impart a little bit more knowledge on the new rookie 6th rounder out of Georgia, Jamari Sawyer, and clearly paying some dividends out there on the field.
Big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, now let's look at our man, our big boy, Justin Herbert.
Our big boy.
Has currently,
big boy,
as it stands right now, the most passing yards through week 4 at 1,250, a nice round number, 1,250. More than Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, more than all of those suckers. Justin Herbert, top of passing yards.
He's on torn rib cartilage, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
My butt.
He's on pace for over 5,000 right now.
Which is fine. That's
Healthily
what he did
over
last year.
5,000.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So you know what that means, folks. It's time to vote for the FedEx Player of the Week. We kind of fumbled it on week 1 with Justin Herbert. We didn't get him that dub with the FedEx Air Player of the Week. This is our chance. This is our opportunity to turn this around and get Justin Herbert the FedEx Air Player of the Week.
We were so good at this last year. We got to step up and do this again. If you have 5 minutes, vote, refresh. Vote, refresh.
Vote,
you can
refresh. Vote
as many times as you can in 5 minutes, and then we'll get him this dub.
Yeah. If we all just do it, it'll happen. All right. Well, now let's look at the game itself. Chargers versus Texans. Chargers win 34-24. Killing it in the first half. We had 27 points in the first half versus the Texans 7. Second half, though, was a little scary.
Third quarter was what happened? What team came out of the locker room? That was insane. Everything, especially offensively, everything just grinded to a freaking halt.
Right. Anybody that's been a Charger fan for at least a few years felt that pain, felt that oh God, no, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody do something. And blessedly, we did score in the fourth quarter. That was Austin Eckler's third touchdown of the day, which was fantastic for him. So glad he was able to pull in 3 tutties.
But on the running back situation, I think
Yes.
I'm a little frustrated just as a fan seeing Josh Kelly totally. We could not run the ball until he came in the game at the end of the first quarter. He came in the game 6 yards, 5 yards. He was just running the ball like crazy and got us going, got us some momentum. And then Austin came back in and scored his touchdowns. I want to see more Kelly. Like right
only
now,
have 4 carries.
Only 4 carries for 15 yards. He's averaging 6. Like we need to see more Joshua Kelly
His long was
touches.
6, not the average.
He's run so hard, man.
Yeah.
Like he gets things going. And I was just bummed that he got in for basically one series, got us going, got us our first drive for a touchdown and, for a rushing touchdown. And then nothing. Like I don't understand the coaching on why it became, Sony Michel all the second half. He averaged, he was averaging what, 2 yards?
I don't know. I think the game turned into let's get the ball back to Austin Eckler. And that's what we all want it to be. He had 13 carries for 60 yards. The other 2 were backups, and that's what they are.
Right.
They're change of pace backs. And Sony Michel, there's nothing special about Sony Michel. It's what it appears so far.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he had that drop last week that turned into a pick. So he's kind of been in a tough spot. For me personally, I just want to see Isaiah Spiller. I think he's more of a future. Right? He's more of the future of the Chargers, whereas Sony Michel is a 1-year rental. Mm-hmm. And to me, it kind of seems like a backup. Right now, he's getting 6 touches a game. Kind of like whatever, dude, type of thing. Look, I'm supporting Sony. I hope he has a great year and that he kills it for the Chargers.
Right.
Just from like a long-term fan of the Chargers who's going to be here more than just this year, I want to see what Isaiah Spiller is about. He doesn't even get on the active roster every Sunday, which is a huge bummer because what we saw early in the preseason, he runs the ball hard. He's pretty dynamic. I'd like to get his NFL career started here pretty soon. And yeah, Josh Kelly's been really impressive. I think he's been a little bit more fun and exciting to watch with bigger plays than Sony Michel has been so far.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, the story of the Texans game is Austin Eckler is a stud, and you got to feed him. Yeah. You have to feed him until later on in the season. You're in a second half where you can spill him a little bit. He's the guy. Our offense doesn't work the way that it needs to work without Austin Eckler.
But Austin wasn't getting the ball moving until Kelly. I don't know what he did, what he infused in this offense. We could not run the ball until Joshua Kelly went in there at the end of the first quarter. So I just like, what is that? Why is that?
It has nothing to do with Josh Kelly, though. That was our offensive line finally starting to click, or whatever the play calls were, because I know they were motioning a ton. They were doing like those slash plays where the tight end would come across, kick out the end, and that way, like you said, tackles could get up to backers. Whatever it was that changed with the play calling, it absolutely. I mean, that's why play action started working. Linebackers are coming up. Mike Williams gets hit for a 40-yard pass over the middle. Everything started clicking once the run started. Now it seemed like, the first couple of carries that he was like he had 3 carries for like -2
It was
yards.
nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
I think you got to give a little more credit to Kelly than just saying the offensive line figured it out. Because he was running up the middle.
What long-term effect would Josh Kelly's 2 runs in the second quarter have on the rest of the running game?
I'm just saying it kick-started. Whatever was happening up until his first run, something happened, and then we got rolling.
Pay dirt. Yeah, once we finally started going, that was the okay.
So
the momentum build more than anything else.
It's the X show. So what I'm saying is if Eck gets in there for the first 2 series and we're not running the ball, put Kelly in right away. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that he's not the fire starter. You know what I mean? I am the fire starter. So I think that's the move. I don't know. I like watching him run the most, especially
he runs hard
when we want to pound the ball. And, we try to do a lot of these finesse runs where we're doing like sweeps and pitches, and they're not working right now. Like they're bottling us up. So I just want to see more like between the tackles, downhill running.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Kelly certainly feels like he's.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, man.
Kelly certainly feels like he's been the more productive running back out of the backups this season so far. Every time he gets the ball, he's getting some chunks here and there. Sony Michel has been productive, but just I don't know. It feels like Kelly's been more productive, and I feel like he's also earned it. We talked about it, his offseason, his changing his regimen, building himself as a better running back. And I feel like he's earning more touches. Whether or not they decide to give it to them, it remains to be seen. But as it stands right now, Eckler's the lead guy, obviously with 13 carries.
Had a huge game.
Had a great game. And then on the receiving side, Mike Williams broke himself 100 yards, had himself 120 yards. His longest was 50. That big wide open catch was insane, how wide open he was.
He just
there was
took off,
nobody around him.
Nothing.
Gerald Everett had himself a game as well, 61 yards with that
His
opening
game,
touchdown.
His game felt more impactful than 5 catches for 61 yards.
Totally.
I feel like
It really did, right?
It felt like there was more there. He like anytime we needed a big play or a third down or something, it just felt like as you watched the game that he was a bigger part of the offense. Like I even was kind of like, wow, this is like the Gerald Everett coming out show this week. It just seemed like Justin had a comfortability with him that he hasn't had in the previous week. So I think running the ball and tight end play are huge in opening up our offense. Because if you have to key on that tight end and bring safeties to help cover, that's going to open up everything for Keenan and Mike. You can't always double when you have that threat in the middle of the field. That makes it really hard to get to the sidelines. So I think having Everett come out is going to be. I think it's just going to be that piece that we haven't had since Hunter Henry left.
Right. Yeah, we know Justin Herbert likes throwing it to the tight ends.
Very much so.
And we like to see them catch them. And so far, Gerald Everett has been pretty successful in that regard. Austin Eckler was the third receiving leader with 49 yards and that touchdown. And then this freaking guy, we saw them say that he was announced he was going to be on the active roster. Michael Bandy is who I'm talking about, who had himself not
Good
one,
job,
but
Mr. Bandy.
two receptions for 49 yards.
Yeah, he came out ready to play,
man.
dude.
Right there at the end of the half that set up the field goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although one, he just kind of got, I think he was a little too excited and
He
tried
went
to
back
cut
in,
back to get more instead of getting out of bounds.
Right.
He got a little excited, but
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad
he
at
had,
that.
He had a catch for 25 and a catch for 24. That's big production out of a backup guy.
His average is pretty nice. We'll just say the
Pretty
average
solid
is
start
nice.
to your career. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see Michael Bandy get out there. We all wanted to see him get out there, at least get a couple touches, and he got himself a couple, and they were big touches. And even Josh Palmer came in with a catch for 25 yards. That was awesome to see. He's been a little quiet these previous games.
How do you guys feel about that? I thought there'd be more impact, especially with Keenan stepping out for the last 3 weeks.
Right.
I felt I'd see a lot more Palmer, but it's really going to Everett. It really, some of those third downs like you were talking about, Kyle, I'm feeling like it's more the Everett show than it is the Palmer show, which is odd. And I know he had to get his ankle taped, and he, coach said he wasn't like hurt, but he just needed to, he was still in the locker room getting taped. But I don't know. It's kind of odd. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the reason behind it is. Palmer, we all expected, in this season, even with Keenan Allen out there, to be a pretty productive wide receiver 3, and hasn't necessarily yet. But having one catch for 25 yards, it's one catch, but 25 yards is a big catch. So good on him for being out there and getting productive.
Totally.
Post-game quotes from Staley initially on the assessment of the team so far. He said, I think for like a game and 3 quarters, we were playing really at a high level, really high level. And then in the very end of that second game to the beginning of this game, it was not our best stuff. Then today was more of a gritty, tough win for a football team, but a really good response to a really tough loss last week. We had some pieces, as you know, that were different this week. We had to make some adjustments, and I think that's what the beginning part of the NFL is. I think the fact that we're 2-2, certainly not satisfied with that record, but definitely proud of our response today as a team. Now we got to keep improving.
Yeah, the big thing for me just on his, Staley's defense is just those big runs. We've given up 2 back-to-back big runs. Like they were not in that game until they had that huge. Right. Like 75-yard run or whatever it was. So I don't know what that is or why that's happening. Hopefully they can get that cleaned up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I know that we, especially in the game against the Raiders, we held them pretty low on those yardage.
Yeah,
it's just the big plays.
Yes.
Outside of that 75-yard run, it wasn't a huge day for the Texans running game.
Right,
not at all.
Well, we're gonna find out real quick. Next week we play the Browns, who are the leading rushers in the NFL with that Chubb, just monster of a back. So we're going to find out real quick. Yeah.
And then Staley on Jamari Salyer's performance, he said he didn't give up a sack today. It just felt like any time you can have 419 yards on the road and deal with the crowd noise. And, like I said, he's a stud, calm, poised, strong. His teammates did a great job for Jamari too. I'm really proud of Jamari. He can build off it. He's really hard on himself. He's going to look at the tape and realize he can play better. But now that's been out there, Jerry Hughes is a really quality rusher. I've got a lot of respect for Jamari. He's an outstanding player to be able to go out there and hold his own. Good start for him.
We lucked out big time, man. I'll just say that. We just lucked out big time that you could have somebody step in it.
Mm-hmm.
Feels a little bit like stars aligning with us pushing this season, like without a 6th round pick popping up and Jamari Salyer falling all the way there, like we don't have a backup.
You need those guys to contribute.
Right.
Like we don't usually have guys in the 6th, 7th round contributing like this. You know what I mean? And I do want to say one more thing. And like the other thing that it was different about this week than the last 2 weeks, for most of the last 2 weeks, is that Corey Lindsley wasn't in. He played this whole game. I think you can see pretty quick how different this offensive line is when you have Corey Lindsley at center.
Yeah, when you have a Pro Bowl center like him and a captain as well, obviously makes a huge difference on that offensive line play. Couldn't agree more. And then Austin Eckler had some words about Jamari Salyer as well. Said, the rookie coming in, holding it down. For the most part, he was holding it down. But just helping him chip, making sure. But he was solid. That's really good to see for him coming in and stepping in and playing at a high level. Looking for him to do it again now.
That's it. That's the NFL. It's all about how often you can play at a high level over and over and over and over for 17 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one big week is good, but again, their running game's good. They also have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, if they're both healthy and playing.
Right.
That's quite the test for both of our tackles next week.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. It's like, in baseball, it's like, great, you hit a home run. Now go out there and do it again.
Yeah.
Go out and do it again and go out and do it again. For 17 games, these guys have a lot on their plate, and hopefully for more than 17 games for us this year.
You know it.
And then Justin Herbert on bouncing back this week. Justin Herbert said it was huge for us. It's never fun losing in the NFL. I thought the team, especially our offense and defense, they showed up during practice. They had a great week of preparation. It starts up front with our offensive line as well. They did a great job blocking all day, protecting, giving me enough time to get the ball off, and guys on outside making plays.
Yep. O-line, dude, is a big difference. And just not, the Storm Norton not giving up the amount of pressures he did, and the couple times he was in there was just a huge difference.
How livid were you guys when Justin got hit on that false that jumped off sides? They let the play go.
Oh, yeah.
He got hit pretty good in the back there.
Yeah.
Pipkins kind of stopped because he thought that they were going to stop the play, and he just right around and laid him out pretty good.
Play to the whistle,
Right.
Pipkins. Play to the whistle, buddy.
Well, outside of that play, we haven't had to say Pipkins' name at all.
That's all we
season.
ever wanted leading up to this year. That's all we ever wanted to say.
Yeah.
Is nothing.
We've had nothing to say about him. So,
good work. Man.
Again, outside of that one little mistake, he's been playing pretty damn well.
Yeah.
And then Derwin James on assessing the defense through 4 weeks. I feel like we haven't played our best football yet because we were up, 3 touchdowns, 21 points. In that third quarter, we got kind of loose as a defense, gave up some explosive plays. So there's definitely room for us to get better and continue to get better. But it was great making plays on the ball, getting those stops when we needed, those end the game stops, end of the half, getting the ball back. We made some big stops, but we just got to get better.
Yeah. Khalil Mack on that 4th down at the end of the first half. What a stud.
Beauty.
This is
It was
crazy.
So good to have Khalil Mack on our defense.
Yeah.
It's just so different. And that's part of it, right? We all talk about how the offense has kind of struggled in the second half. They are allowing teams back in the game, but at the same time, the defense is not shutting people down and just ending them in the second half either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if just one side could be consistent for 60 minutes, this would have been a much
help the
more
other.
comfortable W. And that's how you're going to beat the good teams. So at least one side has to put up 60 minutes. The other one can be a little streaky, but if you're both streaky and at the same time, it gets tough.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely 100%. That's a drinking game.
Absolutely.
Let's roll.
100%.
I think Khalil Mack is actually tied for second for sack leaders right now?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Sounds about right. He's getting at least one every game, 3 in the first.
Yeah.
So those of you that were saying that Khalil Mack washed up, too old, too injury prone, take a drink. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting, and I don't know how much of this actually goes to the play, so this might be a dumb observation, but I noticed, I think it was within the first 3 games, the green dot on the helmet was Derwin James. This last game, the Texans, it was Drew Tranquil had the green dot. It wasn't Derwin James. So what do you think that could have any effect? Like Derwin James isn't having to call plays to the defense. He can just go out there and be Derwin James and not have to like feel like he's hurting cats or anything like that. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. I think Derwin's going to do that no matter what. I think that's just his natural play style and leadership is he's vocal.
Right.
I didn't notice that, and I didn't hear them say anything about it, so I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it was always all through training camp, and it was always, oh yeah, Derwin's the play caller, him and Brandon Staley talking. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
It was just something I noticed. I mean, honestly, now that I know that the green dot means that they're getting the play calls, it's just something I notice now every time I see it. And this last game, I noticed it was Drew Tranquil and not Derwin James. So wonder if that had any effect on it. But if you want any effect on your clothing, you can go on over to chargerchat.com, check out some of the awesome stuff we've got over there, t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other members, other Charger Chatteteers in our member section, and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right, gang. Well, let's go on to our next segment. It is Fan Focus. And we actually, all 3 of us had a chance to meet these. It's a 2 for Fan Focus, not 1, but 2.
2 for the
2
price
at the
of
same
1.
time. All 3 of us met them. 3 times 2. Let's go to Fan Focus.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super lucky to have some very special guests with us today. We have the mother-daughter combo of Susie and Nikki McLeod. What is going on, guys?
Hi, Kevin. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. We met you guys at the home opener against the Raiders, and it was just amazing. Your energy is exactly what we're all about. So we are like, we got to get them on so we can share their story with everyone. So before we get into all the nitty gritty and all the fun stuff, let's figure it out. Let's start with you, Susie. How did you become a Charger fan?
Well, I became a Charger fan basically just when we moved out here. My husband was transferred out here in 1978. He was an accountant, and they had an office out here. And we grew up in Oklahoma, so we were Dallas Cowboys fans. But after moving out here and watching one football season with Don Coryell and Dan Fouts and those guys, we're like, I think we should root for the home team.
That's amazing.
So that's how we started.
That's amazing. So you've been following the team since the Fouts days, the good old days.
Oh, yeah. We moved out here in 78, so 79 and 80. I think 84 or 5 was probably our first game that we went to, and we won tickets from something. It was a Monday night game, and who was right before Bobby Ross was coaching. Mm-hmm. And we sat on the visitor side, kind of in the end zone, but it was awesome.
What a cool way to start it. And let's hear about the next generation of McLeod. So tell us, how did you become a fan, Nikki?
Well, obviously, I was kind of brought into it by my mom. And I just kind of call it like a tale of 2 fandoms. So what happened was I became a fan. We started going to the games. We had season tickets, and we started going to the games, and I just really loved the experience. And they're 2 completely separate experiences as far as like my Qualcomm experience and my SoFi experience. So those are really cool stories that we'll probably get into, but it was just so different, back in Qualcomm, tailgating with my friends. I remember a really cool, when we went to the Super Bowl against San Francisco, my girlfriend and I, and a couple of our other friends, we were actually at Qualcomm Stadium. They were showing the game there, and they invited people. And I don't remember if you had to pay for tickets or whatever it may have been. But we were just there watching the game, and I just remember, unfortunately, being so disappointed. But it was just such a different experience, and it was so cool. And I just started learning about football and really starting to love it and get into the players. And yeah, it was really awesome.
That's awesome. And that's how my brother and I became fans, was our dad. He was a Charger fan. He's similar thing, came during the Fouts and like all the excitement of that. And that's when he became a Charger fan. Yeah. And it just couldn't help but just like, that was our team. So I know exactly where you're coming from on that. And then this is actually really interesting because, we talk with Jen Mills a lot. She was fan of the year last year in 2021. Susie, tell us a little bit about what it was like being fan of the year for the Chargers in 2001.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was probably my most memorable experience being given that award. And I don't know that they made such a big deal of it back then. It was presented to me at one of the functions that we went to, and I believe it was Rodney Harrison was there that day. And I don't think he actually handed me my award, but I got a picture taken with him. And we got to go down on the field and, meet the players and a couple of things like that. And then in Balboa Park, there's a sports museum. I think it's called the Breitbart Museum. Mm-hmm. And I got my picture up in there for the year. So it was fun.
So tell us a little bit about how you became fan of the year and what, we were talking a little bit beforehand, the Charger backers, it was kind of a different kind of support system for Charger fans.
Yes, it
Tell
was.
us how did you become fan of the year? What was it like?
I think nominations were submitted just like I saw the thing on SoFi when we were at the Jaguars game. Do you know anybody who should be fan of the year? I think it was kind of that same process where you nominate someone. Yeah. And I was doing a lot of things back then. I was on the Charger backer board of directors and working, at the games. And then they would have like a golf tournament, and I worked at that. That's where I drove the little Charger vehicle around to move it from place to place, and help with the silent auctions and help with the blood drives and things like that. So I was very involved, and I guess people noticed.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And then like the fandom, you saw that firsthand, Nikki. So what was that like seeing your mom become, because I'm sure there's some perks that came with that. What was that like?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't announcing a draft pick or going to like the draft, which was cool. So congratulations to Jen about that. Yeah, right. They weren't that fancy, but actually, to me, what was really cool about the Charger backers was that it was such an awesome, intimate experience. I remember I worked close by. It was over near their facility off of Arrow Drive. There was a little Ramada or Holiday Inn or whatever it was. And so that's where they'd have it. And they would have every Friday before a home game, they would have a coach and a player come out. They would have like a catered little luncheon there in one of the little small meeting rooms. And you'd get to talk to a player and the coach, and they would answer questions from the fans. And there would be some media there, but it was more for the Charger backers. And I just remember that. And I just thought it was so cool. And it gave me like just such a unique experience. So I was always saying to my mom, and I think I told you guys too, when we met at the game, I wish they had something like this, because how interesting would it be to ask Staley questions or to like, I know you, Kevin, I know you would love to meet Justin Herbert in person. You'd be like, oh my God. So we all.
You know me too well.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. But I remember that was really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I remember one time and you have your picture with Marcellus Wiley, the time he was there, and he had an injury. I don't remember. He's huge. And I think he was number 75. And, he's a very, very intelligent guy, but quite a sharp wit. And he had either an arm or a leg injury that was supposed to hold him out. And we asked him, are you going to be out for a while? He's like, oh, heck no. They could amputate both my arms and both my legs, and I'd be out there rolling around tackling people. I mean, so you get those kind of answers that are kind of neat, that you don't normally get.
That's
amazing. And all the
players
that we got to meet. Like, I mean, we literally have met in person from there. Yeah, we've met Junior
LaDainian was there once.
LaDainian was there. We had, remember the night one, Mom, that we had with Drew Brees, and we met Phillip Rivers. We had it at the little Mexican place. So I mean, like, we met. Different. It wasn't just all the, it wasn't third string players that they brought out there. No. Antonio Gates, we met all of these people, and just talking to the coaches and stuff. It was so cool to just do that and have such an intimate setting of doing that.
Such a personal level.
Personal level, yeah. So that's really what kind of sparked a lot of my fandom. And then, as far as like the games and stuff were concerned, I was saying that they were a little bit different at Qualcomm. My parents we got season tickets originally like way up high in the nosebleeds. That's what we could get at the time. The games were really popular. So a couple of years later, they started building the club section. And so my parents moved down to the club, and they're like, well, we'll give you a choice. And I was in my, early 20s. And so they said, we'll give you a choice. You can come down here with us, or you can stay up here and keep 2 seats and just bring a friend to the game. And I said, oh, well, of course I'm going to do that. So that year started, and I had a list. I knew some of my friends liked other teams, so I tried to bring them to another team. And by the end of the year, people were fighting. She's gone to more games than I have. And it was like a mess. And I told my mom, I said, never again. I'm coming with you guys to the club section. And so the next year, luckily, there were seats available that I moved down just 1 seat in front of them.
One
and
row
for
down,
years,
yeah.
1 row in front of them. And so for years, we had seats kind of around the same people. A lot of the same people, had seats there. We got to know them, their families and stuff. And that was really so that's where it kind of turned into for me, like where it was more of like a family bonding experience. I got to go with my family. And so now my mom and I have kind of like carried on that tradition. And of course, I was a little bit upset when they left San Diego, but now I'm in the Temecula Inland Empire. And shout out to Inland Empire, diehard Bolt Club member of Inland Empire diehard Bolt Club. So yes, I know, because a lot of my friends have moved away, so I didn't have a lot of Charger fans in this area that I knew, and so I just kind of joined them. They're all so nice and they're so great, but it was just really cool because when I was a little bit upset, and then last year when we went to our first game at SoFi, it was like, oh, I would have moved here too. I'm not mad at you guys because it took me forever to call them the LA Chargers. Like I didn't want to say that at first. I'm like, no, they're always San Diego Chargers, but I will give it to them. We love SoFi. So,
that's awesome. Well, and tell
us wherever they go.
Right.
Amen. Amen. And Susie, tell me a little bit about your experience, going to Qualcomm games and that kind of experience, and, and specifically, we were at the Raider game, going to Raider games at Qualcomm, and what your experience was like at Qualcomm, and then Raider game at SoFi. And what was it like being in SoFi now?
We when we were in the club section at Qualcomm, almost everyone around us would sell their tickets for the Raider games because they were pretty darn rowdy. Yeah. And when we went to our first one this year at SoFi, and there weren't really any Raider fans around us, I don't think. They were pretty well behaved if they were.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on
there was a lot of them.
There were a lot of them
right by us.
But there were a lot of us too, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I thought that was really awesome to see all the support, all the powder blues. I mean, I'm so tired of people saying that we don't have fans, because we do. And it was funny. I was mentioning to one of my friends earlier today, living in Inland Empire, even though it's not like as big as San Diego or LA or whatever, every single day when I'm out somewhere, I without fail see at least 1 to 2 cars with Charger stickers, something with Chargers on it. So I'm like, there's no way that
again.
Yeah, it is. So
it's
whether it's new or old, I don't care. Fans.
Yeah, they used to be everywhere. Back in the 2000s, like the mid 2000s, when we were winning the AFC West every year for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. We did, yeah.
I was hoping we'd get back to that this year. And after all those injuries at the Jacksonville game, I was like, oh dang, here we go again. Yeah. But all we had to do was see Jamari Salyer, and we're like, oh yay,
that came out of depth. One of the highest graded offensive linemen in the NFL. How lucky are we? That's crazy,
so
right?
Lucky. Yeah, to replace Rashawn Slater with that. I mean, and the thing that I was telling my mom too is I'm so happy. I think I posted it on one of the threads or, things that I follow on Facebook. Everybody is a Charger fan. And I think maybe even on your podcast, I listened to a lot of different ones, but they were saying, you know what, we're not going to see Jamari Salyer, just everybody where they're going to just do what they have to do with Storm and whatever. And I was so happily surprised that they didn't do that. They proved us wrong. And then he proved us right. He was amazing. I watch a lot of SEC college football. I know how tough their schedules are. I know how tough their players are. I know some of the best players come out of there. And I was like, well, at least give him a chance. And a lot of people didn't think that they were going to give him a chance because we're Charger fans. That's not our history. They typically do things a certain way. Sure. But I really do think that Brandon Staley is changing a lot of the culture within, the locker room, the front office and things like that. And so it just makes me really excited. And I'm so happy because, Pipkins is doing his job. And,
who'd have thought? I couldn't have called that.
Yeah. No, we don't call him Poopkins anymore.
No
right?
more Poopkins or Pumpkins. He can have his full name
Pumpkins,
back.
I forgot that one. Right.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Well, this is. I love talking to you guys. I wish we could have a full episode of just hanging out, but let's get you out of here on this one. You know, we're 2-2, and things are kind of. We got back on track. We're 500. We're like right in the mix with the AFC West. What are you most looking forward to this upcoming game, and kind of where we need to go in the season? And let's start with you, Nikki.
So the thing that I'm most looking forward to, as I mentioned, this has kind of like become a family thing with my mom and I. So it may not be this year just because of some other things going on, but we have said that part of our bucket list thing is to try to go to at least one away game. So we'll hit you up when we come to Kansas City.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're going to try to do at least one away game a year, but just kind of, continuing on that, seeing where the season takes us, just kind of doing those bucket list items of visiting, other cities, seeing other stadiums, things like that. And just finishing the season really strong, just building on. And then I don't want the season to be over, but I am really looking forward to the draft and building on this foundation because I think we have a really good foundation right now. Sure. And just looking forward to building on that for the years to come because we got a lot of good players for some years. So yeah, just looking forward to more wins.
That's exciting. And, what about you, Susie?
As far as the next game, I'm just looking for a win against the Browns. As far as the season, I'm just looking for more wins than Kansas City and the Raiders. I'm not scared of Russell Wilson like I thought I might be.
I'm on the same page with you on that.
And our
I think we have a good chance. I still think we have a good chance to win the division.
Yeah.
They just need to start, maybe they started a tiny bit slow and they need to figure out how to keep it going in the second half, but I think they'll get there.
Yeah, it's still these seasons young. As fans, we get kind of hung up on early loss or things. They're still finding themselves as a team. So all we can do, and the energy you guys bring, is just back them, support them, and just be positive about it. Because some of us are gonna feel kind of stupid if we're super down on the Chargers and they look rad come week 15 and we're coasting into the playoffs a little early. You know what I mean?
Shamelessly positive all the time.
Well, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
All right. Well, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It was great to meet all you guys. Thank you, Bulldog and Coach. It's awesome. And we are just happy to be here. So thanks again.
Absolutely. We'll see you. We'll see you at one of the next games and we'll talk soon.
All right. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Hey, love you. Bye.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Well, Susie and Nikki, Kevin's right. We could listen to you guys talk for a whole episode.
They should have their own podcast.
I was just going to say, it's
honestly
amazing they don't have their own podcast. The history they have with this team. They could give Tony a run for his money, I think.
I think Tony and Susie should get together.
Tony and Susie.
Yeah, they gotta have they gotta chat.
Oh man, those such great stories too about. And what is this picture that you sent? I want to put it up here because I think it's been a long time since we've seen something like this. Okay, so this is very clearly.
I want it.
I remember this thing so clearly, and I remember this vehicle so clearly. This is Susie rocking the Charger cart. I think she was at she said she used to drive it all the time. So I guess it was like a golf tournament or something.
She would just borrow it for the weekend.
Just take it out for a
taking a helmet, guys.
Hey, when you're fan of the year 2020, 2001, you get
access to the golf cart.
Hell yeah, you do. So
yeah, they need to bring these helmet cards back.
It reminds me of something at a Little Rascals, like the boxcar racing.
Yeah, hell yeah! I want to build one right now.
Yeah, the carts they have right now, they're lackluster, and I understand they usually only come out for injuries.
There's no showmanship.
No, they got to bring back the helmet.
This has a roll bar. This has the whole deal. You get into some serious, and
you got a little privacy. When a guy gets injured, he's not really wanting to face the world. It's like give the guy some cover. Put him in the helmet.
This is way cooler. We got to bring this
some
back.
Dignity.
Hashtag
put
bring
him in
it back.
It's like something out of Spaceballs.
Yeah, I love it.
They could do races. You could have
Darth
both
helmet.
teams, their helmets out on the field. It's a halftime race.
Demolition
cars.
Demolition Derby.
Demolition
That's what I want.
NFL, I hope you're listening. We're giving you some great ideas right now.
Or for the Pro Bowl, every team gets one of these, and you have a race.
Oh my God! Why aren't we running the Pro Bowl?
Write this down. All right. Well, again, Susie, Nikki, thank you so much.
And guys are awesome. Wearing the swag.
Wearing the swag.
Appreciate you doing that.
Somebody actually listened to one of your calls to the website, Bulldog.
It worked. It finally worked.
Oh God, yeah. You guys were. I was just grinning the whole time listening to you guys talk with Kev. It was awesome seeing you guys week one. We'll never forget it. And yeah, let's go on now to the next week against the Cleveland Browns. I'm with you. We need to get this win. It's going to be a big test for our boys. I'm excited to see it. All right. Well, now let's go on to the next segment. Ask Boltfam. Another chunky one, guys.
Oof.
Let's buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
Whoa, there's a lot.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude. Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, gang. It is time for Ask Boltfam, and we start off with Leo, who asked the question, who's your daddy and what does he do? That's right. Texans charges your daddy. Revenge is sweet after last year's horrible defeat. What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. But, come on, Lombardi. We almost let that victory get away from us. Do it again, conservative play calling. My poor body cannot take this stress weekly. Enough. Stop it. There's no more run, pass. There is no more Michelle on 1st and 10. But if not, I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. We are a good team, probably the best thing in California. Let's keep these victories coming and close out a game day smoothly. Anyways, I have to go now. Go Chargers! And hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back.
That was a good one.
We haven't had Arnold in a while, I feel like.
It was Arnold with a good script. That was
Great.
really
Yeah.
good, Leo.
I mean, it was all of his best quotes. I don't know if we'll be able to top that any other week.
Awesome.
But,
Then the placement of the Arnold grunts. It was really nice.
shut up. Yeah, Lombardi, run, pass. We're over it.
Please stop, okay?
Please stop. I think, I just think that instead of just running the ball, let's like screens or something different, a draw here and there. You know, like you're still running the ball, but not just handing the ball
Let's
into
turn
a
the page
7-man
of the
box.
playbook. Let's see what's on this side.
You know, you can be conservative. Like you want the clock to run. I get that, but if you're just running these simple against the 7-man box, just downhill, we're just not built like that. We're not. If they have numbers in the box, our offense is not built for just big boy football. We are a throwing team. So if you want to get conservative, you need high percentage passes, right? Those screens, the short underneath stuff, the check down to the running back.
Yeah.
Trust that Justin Herbert's going to get the ball to the check down fast enough that the clock will run. I'd rather take a sack for a loss of 1 because he steps up in the pocket than running for a loss of 1 and there was no potential for really any play. It's just hard because they know what we're going to do, right? Yeah. In the second quarter, we did run, pass. We were running the ball a lot. It was a pretty conservative play calling, but it was successful because they didn't know what was coming. They know when we have the lead, here comes some running plays. Let's load up the box and take it away. So it's just a matter of doing high percentage plays, but that aren't just straight downhill, trying to be bigger and stronger than them, because that's not what we're built for right now. That's not the way that our identity is. So find a way to make take our identity and use it in a clock churning style.
I like it.
Well said, Kyle. Love it.
And the other thing too is I was like, Staley, is he the mastermind behind this? Like, hey, go conservative. It just doesn't mesh with everything that Staley is.
No, not the
right.
fourth
If he
and
was
Staley,
the conservative one, the
yeah.
fourth down in that fourth quarter, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So it has to land on Lombardi's shoulders that Staley's not like, hey, go conservative, start running the ball. He's leaving it. He's trusting Lombardi too much. And maybe it's time to take a little bit more control and be like, hey, come on, don't get off script. Let's
at least in the third quarter. Just like you run the first half of the third quarter, and then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Leo, thank you for, I don't know if there was a question in there, but yes, we're with you and all of everybody.
Good Chargers, go.
Go California. All right, let's move on now to Cerberus 21, who asked the question. Whew! I knew he had it the whole time. Yep. Definitely wasn't sweating there at the end. Wow. 3-point game at the end there. Wow. You almost think we were trying to make it stressful. No. I knew he had it the whole time. I didn't have one slimmer of a doubt. Not once. Oh, God, is it hot in here? Oh, God. This team is going to be the death of me. Hopefully I can see our sweet, beautiful God of a man, Justin, hoist the Lombardi while I pass out on the living room floor, dying via heart attack. Oh, my guys, this is only 4 weeks in. Does anyone know a good heart guy? Tell me this, Kevin, Kyle, and my precious wool dog. Do you think we'll ever see Justin hold the Lombardi? Tell me, what do you all think it'll be like?
Do you know a good heart guy? No.
You know a good heart guy?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to have the faith. Why watch football if you don't think they're going to have a chance at winning a Super Bowl?
Right.
Too much fun to have excitement that you're going to win it. Like,
right.
Yes, it's going to happen.
You have a quarterback like Justin Herbert. It's,
right.
You always have a shot. So, yeah, I think it's going to happen eventually.
If there's anybody that can have that opportunity right now, it's the guy that's got the leading passing yardage in the whole
without his
NFL
best
right
wide
now.
receiver.
Yes.
I mean, Keenan hasn't played all year. He played for a quarter.
Yes.
He had a great quarter. It was a good quarter.
It was a hell of a quarter.
Hell of a quarter, guys. Yes. What'll it be like? It'll be the sweetest thing you've ever seen.
I can't wait.
It'll be the thing that every Charger fan has been waiting for their entire life. And it'll be a magical moment. I can only say that. So Cerberus 21, thank you for asking the question. Let's go on to Derwin's Dirty Duck, who asked the question.
Never easy to get a win in this league, so we should all be stoked with the Texans game. 2-2 with the season heating up. Not a terrible place to be. D-line obviously was great with guys stepping up into the void left by the Big Bear. They went off like a frog in a sack. Salia also doing a phenomenal job for a rookie. But can we just take a minute and send the big guy Trey Pipkins some love? Cops a lot of heat, but thought he was great against the Texans. Eckler snapped off some great runs on his side on Sunday, and a couple of Pipkin ceiling blocks led to touchdowns. Much improved performance. What were his QB pressure stats for the game? How many did he and the O-line allow? Would love to know the stats if you guys have him. This season is just getting started. Give me a f***ing booyah!
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 Batch.
Oh, man. Well,
do you
as
have
a matter
the
of fact, I got to shout out Tyler Schoon over at Guilty as Charged.
Nice.
Tweeted out all the pressures that were allowed by our offensive line against the Texans. Jamari Salyer, 0. Matt Filer, 1. Corey Lindsley, 0. Zion Johnson, 2. Trey Pipkins, 0. And Joshua Kelly, 1. So,
wow.
Yes. Yeah. Trey Pipkins certainly coming in and doing basically the unexpected, because this is another guy that we basically all thought we knew what to expect with Trey Pipkins being in that position, and he has gone the totally opposite.
He's found consistency, which he never had before. He flashed, never had consistency, and so far he looks like a pretty good right tackle.
Booyah.
So far, give me a booyah.
Biatch.
Batch.
That's
Booyah, batch. Brittany, batch.
Derwin's Dirty Duck. There you go. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Deadbolt. And shout out to Gavin Gibson. You both pretty much asked the same question, but I'm going with Deadbolt. And he asked the question, it goes something like this. Watching Salia dominate his opponent made my nipples hard. Not to mention tingly. If he continues his stellar play,
Does he thrust Pipkins from the right tackle job next year? Seems a shame to make a quality offensive tackle play guard.
Yeah.
Killed Kevin.
It's an interesting question because, like I said, Gavin Gibson asked it as well. It's like, does with the Salyer, I mean, granted, we're talking one game here, but does Salyer go out and basically take the right tackle job away from Pipkins and make Pipkins the backup?
Cost effectively, yes, because Pipkins is due for a second contract. If he plays the whole year to a decent level, he's going to want to get paid. And I just think that you have that. If you have a guy like Salyer, you're not going to, stick him into the guard. We have Zion Johnson, the guard of the future on the team.
Right.
I don't know. I think Matt Filer has at least another year, right? On his contract. If
maybe
not, we have
more.
several young guards there. I think that he does take over just because of timing, because Pipkins' contract is coming up here at the end of the year, and we didn't exercise that option.
It's weird after, and let's see some, that we talked about consistency. Let's see some consistency. Let's get excited about it. But this is a great problem to have. The depth that we've never had, as far as I can remember being a Charger fan, depth at the offensive line like this. And it was weird as we found it. We accidentally kind of stumbled on it when our depth piece played like crap. So it's just kind of like these diamond in the rough kind of things that giving them opportunities and they're running with it. So what's to say that, if things did shake out and we needed a guard, Salyer wouldn't take that and run with it as well. So I have confidence in the guy. I think let's see him play a couple more games and keep this up. But if he can keep this up, find a place for him.
Yeah, we have to remember too, he's still a rookie. There's going to be games where he doesn't look great. It's just it's inevitable. It's going to happen. He's going to make some mistakes. But if he can just have somewhat of a resemblance of consistency from what we saw this Sunday, he's got a bright future that we can plan around.
Big time.
There you go. Deadbolt and Gavin Gibson, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Pink Unicorn, who asked the question. What a difference a motherfucking week makes. I bet every motherfucking team in the league is kicking themselves for letting Salyer drop to the 6th motherfucking round. No sacks and only 4 motherfucking pressures for a line without Slater, a banged up Lindsey, and Pipkins at right tackle. I'll take that every motherfucking week. Now I have some motherfucking questions for you. Is ASJ our best motherfucking cornerback? Is that motherfucking Joshua Kelly our best running back? How does Bandy get some more motherfucking targets? As for those motherfucking dirty pirate hookers and their Jack Sparrow looking mascara wearing QB, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn it down. They love you, bye.
How do you keep a straight face when you read this shit, Adam?
He's a professional. This isn't a hobby, dude.
This is my job.
Yeah. This ain't no hobby.
Wow. All right. Yeah, bringing Sam Jackson back. Haven't done him in a while.
Miss Sam. Hell.
All right. So the questions. Is ASJ our best motherfucking cornerback?
Right now, he's playing like it. For sure.
Certainly playing like it. Yeah.
Open field tackling is great. His coverage is awesome. Yeah, he's been playing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope our new guy steps up a little more. Be honest. I'm not exactly. There's some missed tackles and hopefully
Mr. INT needs a couple picks.
Yeah. Pick. Pete's sake.
And you expect a little warm back up. He's had surgery for Pete's sake.
He's still getting into it.
If we can get him, if they could be playing at that kind of level at the same time, like, I don't know, dude. That's going to be hard for any team.
Number 2 is that motherfucker Joshua Kelly, our best running back.
I think he's our best.
Austin Eckler's our best.
I think he's our best backup running back right now. Hands down.
Yeah. I think so right now.
I think he should get, between 6 and 10 carries a game.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about him until he does something differently.
You feel like Sony Michel's like out touching him by a ton. It's
he
like
is.
Two touches a game.
He is.
That's a ton in Kevin's book.
I just watched the game. I didn't see him at all in that second half. He barely got on the field that second half.
It's because he allowed one of those pressures to Justin Herbert. They were like, sit down, Kelly.
Sit down, kid.
Just hand him the rock.
Well, how does Bandy get some more motherfucking targets? keep playing like he does, right? I mean, that's
as soon as Keenan's back, it's hard to stay on the field. It's just a bummer. He's just too deep down in the depth chart.
But he's making
I mean, there's nothing that he has. Yeah, he's not done anything except for stay in bounds. That was kind of a bonehead move, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
DeAndre Carter fumbles a couple more balls. You got to have somebody back there that can hold on to the ball.
And then he is a backup. He is a returner too. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's his only case once Keenan comes back is if something happens with that. But I'll take whatever games we can get with him. I enjoy it because he's kind of like the Rocky. He's the Rocky Balboa.
He's the Vince Papali.
Yeah. Nice pull.
Nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm a big Mark Wahlberg fan.
Oh, nice.
What? No. All right, Pink Unicorn. Thank you for asking the questions. Let's move on now to House of Hain.
Yes.
Who asked the question? Well, we are back to 500. Held the Taco Bell from messing up another bed. Had to squeeze it back in for the win. Coach, what is with the historical bad O in the second half? We should have been up 4 TDs. I say instead we go as soft as Derek Carr in the pocket. Can't love it bad.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
I don't think it's historical. It feels just something recent. Like I said, when we talked about it, it was like when Phillip Rivers was out there, it felt like we were always down in the half, but then we would come back for the win. Phillip Rivers would play out of his mind and we'd get the win. It does feel like, though, that it is something that has been happening in recent years. Can you attest to any of that, Coach?
I don't know.
Or contribute that to something?
I don't know I think I heard some of the post-game stuff that the players kind of like, they admitted like we kind of just
the Derwin James
focus. We played kind of played kind of too loose. That's just the players got to lock in and finish the game.
Yeah.
This is the NFL. It could turn quick. And we saw that a 75-yard touchdown run. We have a fumble on a kickoff, and just like that, they're back in the game. So,
right.
I don't know if specifically anything. Obviously, your play calling can get more aggressive, but at the same time, you get more aggressive, you throw picks. It's just the same turnaround. So overall, it's just playing cleaner, more disciplined, more focused football throughout the whole game. 60 minutes is a long time to play, but that's what you need.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go, House of Pain. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Gretz, who asked the question. I loved how the Chargers looked for 2.5 quarters. Then bang! Things got conservative and it almost cost us the game. The first half and second half play calling always looked very different. Who does the late game play calling? Lombardi or Staley? Nonetheless, a win is a win. Positive takeaways: Salyer holding his own, Bandy catching some hard-thrown balls but making it look easy with his soft, beautiful hands. Joshua Kelly running hard like a clear number 2 back. Can't wait to see which team will come out next week. All right, well, this may come as a surprise, Gretz. I have no idea who calls the second half.
It's clearly Coach Staley calls the defense. That's what he does.
Right.
So he needs Lombardi to call the offense.
Yep.
Lombardi needs to get better in the second half of these games. And that is just from what we've seen this season. He needs to get better. That's just what it is.
Well,
just better.
What did we see in the first half? The first half, like the first quarter, wasn't all that impressive offensively. We scored 7 points, and that came off of a pick that put us down at the 20-yard line. We had 1 first down. We had 1 completion that ended up as a touchdown.
Right.
So the first quarter wasn't like that incredible. The second quarter was good. We had a great second quarter, but like the second quarter was where we really blew up offensively.
That was the
It was
highlight,
defensively in the first quarter, they dominated. Second quarter, the defense looked great. And then the third quarter, the defense allowed them to score points. And so, I don't know. It seems like we're turning into a team where the offense feeds off the defense instead of vice versa, like last year.
Vice versa.
But the defense needs consistency as well. They don't score that many points if the defense isn't also slacking. So yeah, I don't know. It's easy to blame our offensive play calling. I would say that the second quarter, when we were the most effective offensively, we had some conservative play calls. We ran the ball a lot. And then we got really effective on play action passes, but they were not deep balls all the time. It was Mike Williams at 12 yards running for 40 because we ran the ball conservatively and they all came up. So I don't know. I think it's just execution. I don't know if it's always just we're we're having conservative play calls. It's you have to execute. And in all honesty, Justin Herbert needs to check us out of plays. If there's 7 in the box and we can't run the ball, check out of it and be more aggressive.
Kill.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that Phillip Rivers get up to the line, and that's a lot to put on him as a third-year guy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But Phillip Rivers used to get up there and like look at Keenan and change his route at the line of scrimmage type of stuff, where you're getting us in the best possible play. I'm excited for when that part of his game kind of evolves and levels up.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. Hopefully we do at some point, because we all know that Justin Herbert's a smart kid. He can do that. He can pick those plays apart, and that will just come with every year of experience for him. So
every game of experience.
Every game.
So who's to say we can't see that the next few weeks, him making some changes? And
he came out and said that they're only using 30% of the playbook. Didn't he come out and say that like last week?
I think Eckler might have said that.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what we're holding
why are we
back
turning
for.
pages here? Like,
let's start flipping.
They're double-sided. Did we forget
together?
that the
What
back?
happened?
Yeah, there's a backside.
Yeah.
Did we lose it? Did we not hit the save button? What happened?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go, Gretz. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Cock Diesel, who asked the question.
Yeah.
I see Reiki Healer night before last. She say, chakra all clogged. Trust in Ekala, she say. Woke up this day much improved. Still, offense seems overly simplistic.
Samurai.
All right. Reiki Healer. That's good. You got to clean out those chakras for sure. All right. Offense seeming overly simplistic. I mean, if we're only using 30% of the playbook,
we're effective in the pass game, right? I think it's just that
we have
run
1,250 yards passing on the year. We're the number 2 total passing offense.
We need to get the run game and get that more creative with that to match the passing, which is working.
I don't know if it's necessarily simplistic, but we're not balanced. We don't have a balanced attack between the run and the pass. The second quarter of the Texans game, we were extremely balanced and really scary.
And look what happens, 20 points.
I guess anytime you question, is this too simplistic? What are you hoping for? Are we looking for like double reverses and hook and ladders?
Give me the flea flicker.
You want flea flicker?
Statue of Liberty.
Fumble Rooski.
What is it that we're looking for as fans to be more complex or diverse? I just want balance. I want to be able to run the ball and throw the ball.
You want to balance.
I want the yin. I want some yin and yang.
I want points in every quarter for the next couple games. That's what I want. I want the offensive score every quarter these upcoming games. That's what I want to see. And then that's a step towards the right direction and becoming more consistent throughout a game and being more well-balanced to be able to execute.
Well, what if it's just 3 points a quarter?
More touchdowns than field goals.
More points. I want points.
I just want points every quarter, but it needs to be more touchdowns than field goals.
I mean, you could get a 12-point game. They scored every quarter.
If they win, I don't give. Well, Kyle, you just picked apart my fucking theory. So
they need to get rid of that stat of being the lowest scoring team in the second half of football games. That's got to go away. I think we're like number 5 in.
We're also
first
the
half.
32nd ranked rushing offense.
We got to get that fixed.
Fix that shit.
Gotta
Quick.
get
Comparison.
Clean out those chakras. Cock Diesel.
Is that even after this last game?
That was before this last game, but we still only rushed for 80-something yards. So I can't imagine we leapfrogged a lot of teams.
Maybe one.
I just don't want to be 32nd.
I just don't want to be last.
All right. Cock Diesel, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Daniel O'Wallen.
Danny.
Who asked the question?
What's up, brochachos? Okay. So, like, that was freaking groovy. Like, needed a win. A question for you. Do you think if we didn't get that 4th down on our side of the field, people would be calling for Staley's nuts on a spike? I love seeing him go for it personally. Can later on, dudes.
Yeah, that was last year, Staley. And not only that, but he called the timeout because he didn't like the down and distance and really wanted to evaluate the best way to go about it. Mm-hmm. So not only was it like not a rush decision to go for it on on fourth down, it was like, hey, let's make sure this right play is in here. So he's still, controlled. It's not chaos like some of these other coaches on fourth down. Like what happened with that sack that Mac had. I don't know what they were blocking or what they were running on that, but that was not a very, planned out moment.
No, you see Mac on the side that you're trying to do that naked boot. You call timeout and switch the play.
There you go.
T.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably knowing our fan base, there probably would have been calling for his head. Yeah, especially after that Jacksonville game, they would have been pretty pissed.
There were some like rumors last week of like he's losing the locker room. Like who's starting this shit?
Yeah,
like just stop. This sounds like Raider fans starting this shit. Really,
that's who he is. He's gonna go for it in that situation.
Right.
Worst case scenario, we trust our defense to only give up a field goal, and then we still have the ball to win it at the end. So I think everything pointed to going for that. It was a big play in the game.
It's huge, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, people were still like new guys to the team. Kyle Van Noy after the game was posting on Twitter about how much he appreciates that his coach trusts his players to go make the plays. It's just a continued sentiment. We've not heard anything other than that from the players. I think that's one of the ways that he shows his confidence in the team. And after a game like against Jacksonville, you could very easily change and be like, oh, shoot, let's just punt the ball away. Trust the defense. Oh, crap. Clearly his identity, he hasn't given up on the team. That's kind of his way of being like, guys, I'm not done. We're still getting after this. I trust you guys. So
yeah,
I love the decision. I would have been, that wouldn't have changed my opinion on Staley either way. I think that's just who he is. And that's the team we are.
There you go. All right, Daniel Walton, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Unanimous, who asked the question.
Who needs to get fired? Second time we collapsed in the second half and almost lost the game. Almost got beat by the Texans. Again.
You're on the other side of this line we have in the sand, Unanimous.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, Unanimous. We didn't almost nothing. We won the football.
We won the game.
Yeah, we didn't trail in that one, did we?
Nobody gets fired after a dub.
No.
That would be a tough way to go.
What a weird one. Yeah.
Unless actually, I guess if you're Michael Badgley, I just saw that he played for Chicago Bears, was 4 for 4.
He was 4 for 4. He killed it.
Cut.
Yeah.
So
he got cut after 4 for 4.
Well, he was filling in
for he was filling in for Cairo Santos, I think. Is
poor Badge. Poor Badge.
But he went 4 for 4.
No, that's good game film. He's going to be the first guy up everywhere else too.
Get hired up and fired again. That's poor Badge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be tough to fire a guy after a win. It's a dub, Unanimous. Let's relish in it. Let's soak it up. Let's enjoy.
You know who I want to fire?
W's.
I want to fire my negative emotions when I watch that third quarter. That's what I want to fire.
Yeah.
Because get out of here. We won the game.
Because get out of here.
Get out of here, emotions.
High five.
High five.
All right.
Feel you.
Unanimous. I hope you feel better. Let's move it on now.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, big guy.
We'll have some fun next week.
Next, we have Tom Telesco's burner account, who asked the question. Feels great to win again, man. Shout out to Salyer for being a fucking wall, man.
Being a wall.
Herb leading the league in passing feels right, my brothers. What was your guys' favorite play of the game? Mine was the first TD pass up the seam. Perfect pass and perfect one-on-one block from Jamari. I knew he would be good, but this even surprised me, man. Shit. Love you guys, man. And as always, step on that gas pedal, Lombardi, so we can get that Lombardi this year. See what I did there? Bolt the up in FTR. However, I'm glad they beat that phony Russell Wilson guy. He's so lame, man. He's giving a car a run for his money. And Spiller time needs to come soon. All right.
That's a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to being a fucking wall. Agreed.
Way to go, man. Way to be a wall.
Way to be a wall, man.
All right. Well, favorite play of the game.
Mine was the Austin Eckler rushing touchdown. It just felt good to just like
Which
just
one?
Finish one off. That was mine.
That was awesome.
Yeah, because he had that. I think one was a 10, and the 20-yard one was pretty impressive. He showed a lot of good vision, which was what I feel like we've been lacking with Eckler. Is like,
well, just space. It seems like he's always getting hit in the backfield.
Yeah.
Like, give him an opportunity to make a cut and change direction, get upfield, and he can do it. And it was just good to see him just score again. It just felt like we were clicking when
felt
Eckler
right,
scores.
right?
Yeah,
felt right.
Felt right.
It did.
All right. How about you there, Kev? What was your favorite play of the game?
It's that first drive on our defense when we got, who was it? It was Khalil Mack got pressure, lit up the quarterback, Davis Mills. Sorry, I want to say Miles Davis, not Miles Davis. Davis Mills.
Peeing in your pants is cool. Consider me Miles Davis.
Yeah, but he got in his face, jacked him up, and then Nasir Adderley got that pick. Like that was just that was a good combo. And the first series too, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I just felt great. I just felt great about the upcoming plays after that.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Honorary mention to Eckler going off though. That was all.
Yeah, Eckler going off was pretty fantastic. I mean, for me, I would say my favorite play was Mike Williams just catching the ball in just wide open field with just nothing but green in front of him. But I mean, seeing Bandy get the ball, man. I mean, I know he's low on the totem pole. But we saw so many flashes from him in preseason from guys like Easton Stick and Chase Daniel. To see him catching balls from Justin Herbert, no dropsies or anything like that. Just ball got to him. Two targets, almost 50 yards. Come on now. Bandy, please. So there you go. Tom Telesco's burner account. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to J. Rob, who asked the question.
Oh, freaking Chargers won, boys. It must mean Kevin got his California burrito before the game. My question is, when the heck is it Spiller time? Why is the young buck not on the field? Fresh rookie running backs are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So let's take a chance, Staley. Sonny has had his chance. Let's send the rook in. K-Love your boy.
I blame myself for the shaky game at the end because I did have a burrito. It was a breakfast burrito. It wasn't California burrito.
So you were halfway there. Maybe that's why we only had half a good game.
I had half of what we needed and I needed to eat. So I apologize. I won't do that again. We'll have a dominant performance this week.
We need a new second half tradition too. Get the California burrito to start the game. What's the halftime meal? Because that's where we're losing steam. We need some more juju going into the second half.
How about these?
Your espresso
I just gave Adam a whole bunch of these espresso chocolate beans. I gave Adam like 10 of these before we started. I think maybe these. We'll try these.
Okay.
There you go.
Chocolates. Second half chocolate. It's just what you need.
And yeah, when will it be Spiller time? I mean, we all saw
Spiller
in the
time. I like that. I like what you did there. That's pretty good.
Spiller time.
Spiller time.
So we all saw in the preseason, we saw a couple flashes, and then we saw him hurt his ankle. So it was understandable to not see him in those first couple games. But as far as we're aware, he's back to being healthy. I mean, we haven't heard.
It's been a long time,
really specifically, that he is 100% healthy.
Been a while.
But it's been a while. And yeah, this last game he was inactive. So what's going on? What are we doing here? What's happening with Spiller?
I just want to see him get activated. Coach said, like, once he's a top 3 back, he'll get in the game. That's what he said.
Really?
So yeah, that's what he said last week. He's like, when he's earned that top 3 position, he'll be playing. So he hasn't
basically waiting for one of our guys to get hurt and then he steps in.
I don't know. He said he had a good week of practice.
Yeah,
he had a good week of practice last week, and he wants to see him build on it. So
okay,
if he builds on it, Sony Michel won't be active. That's just probably what will happen.
Here's hoping. So, all right. Well, there you go, J-Rob. Mark your calendar. Whenever Spiller has a good practice, we might see him in a game. Let's move on now to Blonded Surfer.
You can count on it.
Who asked the question?
You'll like the way you look.
I guarantee it. Yeah, there I was on my surfboard in the middle of the ocean. We were 27-7 in the first half, but finished the game 17-7. not acceptable versus the Houston Texans, but we won, and sometimes we win dirty, even dirtier than the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, stop asking me questions. What am I, Google? Let's table to the turn. Will it be possible to get Bandy some game time from here on out? The baddies go wacky for Bandy.
The baddies. That's
go wacky for Bandy. Well, I mean,
I don't know when Keenan's back. I just don't know. I don't know how he gets in there. I would love for it to happen. He's done nothing but perform since he's been on the field. But
who would you rather see out there, Bandy or Josh Palmer?
Josh Palmer is just, I think has a different skill set. It's DeAndre Carter or Bandy. Those are the two playing for the same spot. It's returner / the little guy in the middle that gets open and is quick. Like that's the same position in this offense, and you're not going to generally carry two unless you have a lot of injuries. With Jalen Guyton going down and Keenan being out, that's why Bandy got the look. But if Keenan comes back, that's the first guy in the total poll to go back to the practice squad. So
right.
I just don't know. I don't know how.
Carter had great games leading up to this one. So
yeah, he was our leading rusher coming into this week.
We're only receiver.
Right,
like that's the thing. We gotta kind of. It's hard to remember back past one game, but I think the situation is I love seeing Bandy out there. But I think it's gonna be hard for him to stay out there. Just the way how deep we are.
All right. Well, there you go, Blonded Surfer. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to a free. Who asked the question? Oh, yeah. We are back tonight with the special shout-outs. Shout out to Electric Eckler for his 3 touchdowns, making my main sports junkies compadre the Federation regret taking him away. Shout out to Khalil Mack for his performance on Sunday with a sack and just causing chaos all over the girls like he's used to doing. And a special shout out to Big Sexy Chocolate Jamari Pancake Salyer for his smooth performance, keeping our main man Justin Himbert clean. Special question tonight, ladies and gents. Given Salyer's play on Sunday, what fancy restaurant are we taking him for dinner to positively reinforce this monster performance? Stay sexy, Bolt fam, because you know the vibes. We outside. K-love you, bye.
I love the catchphrase.
I like that sign off. Yeah.
It's a great sign off. All right. Jamari Salyer, where are we taking him for din-din?
International House of Pancakes.
Ooh,
all day.
It.
If he pancaking, he get pancaking. Whatever else he wants.
Whatever else he wants.
If he's pancaking, he's getting pancaking.
And whatever else he wants.
And, it's his special night.
Some bacon.
Special boy.
Yeah, whatever he
you want
wants.
chocolate chips on there, Jamari? We'll take care of you.
Yeah, whatever you want.
We got funfetti.
It's on us.
We got pumpkin for October.
Good spice. Oh man. Well, shit, Kevin, you took the best answer right out the
we're
gate.
done.
What do we got? Right. Where else do we
Fryer
go?
Bolt. What do you got for him
back? Maybe the Burger King, because he's the king of week 4.
I wouldn't take him to In-N-Out because he's staying, so.
That's true.
Can't take him there.
Kevin's on his A game tonight with the puns.
Yeah.
The dad jokes are coming in hot.
Yeah, coming in fast and furious.
Spend a lot of time with your kids.
Extra daddy right now.
Yeah, daddy.
Take him to Five Guys to remind him of all 5 guys he played better than this last week, maybe? I don't know.
I like that.
I feel like there's some good ones out there, folks. If you've got a better one than
El Pollo Loco, what are we doing here, guys?
He's crazy.
We can take him to Islands because you can put him on a zone and he'll be fine.
Oh my God, you're taking him away. I want to see other people. If you've got better ideas for restaurants, put them down.
Islands
in the
pretty
comments.
good. Cheese fries are rad.
All right, a free. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Friar Bolt, who asked the question.
Whew, that was a close one. Chargers played a really good first half, but came out flat after the half and gave the Texans a chance to come back. Sally also played a solid game at left tackle. What changes does the defense need to make to be more prepared for the Browns?
Oh, we lost Kevin.
Kevin, come back.
That was kind of a sexy baby.
I know. Be a kid. Sorry, I didn't mean to make the baby so sexy.
So sexy. You can't help. You can't help it.
All right, what changes does the defense need to make to be more prepared for the Browns?
Oh. I'm gonna give you guys a
sexy
second.
widow baby.
Stop it. All right, let's continue the show.
Okay, I'm just gonna start answering, and you guys giggle it out. Okay, yeah,
Sure.
the defense. All it has to do is be better at stopping the big plays. And what's crazy is the big plays are coming off of running plays the last 2 weeks. That
Big
can't happen
running
against
plays.
the Browns. No more running plays.
No more running plays. Stop it.
It's that's the final answer.
Well, they better figure it out for next week because it's going to be pretty big against the Browns. So no big runs for the Browns, I think, is essential this upcoming week.
Yeah, keep them on.
They're going to run it on us. They're going to run it on us. They're going to have a lot of time of possession, but just nothing. If they can keep them under, nothing over a 10-yard run, I think we'll have a pretty okay day against that team.
And if the offense could come out and score quick, try to force the Browns into throwing the ball, that'll help out the defense immensely.
Okay.
I'm shook.
Shaking it up.
I'm shook.
All right, another coffee
Sexy
bean for
baby,
Kevin.
gotcha.
All right, Friar Bolt, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on
Good
now.
voice request. Too much for me,
I
man.
love it. Let's move it on now to Droctagonopus.
Certified fresh.
Droctagonopus.
Dr. Octagonopus.
Final answer.
Dr. Onagonopus, certified freshicus.
Who has
It's like
the question?
it's like a doctor of the octagon.
A puss.
The puss. I don't know what it is.
Can coach take a look at the third downs we failed to convert in the second half and see what actually happened to see why we didn't convert? They must have friends.
Where is he?
Where is he?
All right. I don't know.
I love it.
Coach,
I
can
love
you take
the-
a look at it?
Yes, I will. I
Take
love the
Pete Bennett.
direct asks. I'm actually going to look at this for Coach's Corner on Thursday, so we'll have some game film to break down.
Yay!
You guys ask, and I'll do it. It's hard for me just to come up with what to look at on film sometimes.
Kyle asked us, and we're like, I don't know. What do you think? He's like, I'm just
You're
not
like, I don't
telling
know, D tackle. I'm like, I'm not
Right.
looking D tackle. Sorry.
you. Yeah.
It's a great question to look at one game, third downs that we failed to convert. Don't ask coach
me
to be like, hey,
something
can you
specific, yeah.
look at the last 10 years and see why we fucked up?
Yeah, why is the defense not
What
good?
happened
Why
in the
haven't-
last 10
Why haven't we won a
years?
Super Bowl?
Yeah, why hasn't that happened, coach?
Get
I don't know
to
what
the
clips to
bottom
look
of
at.
it. Quick.
Figure it out.
You can get all that on the NFL app, right, Coach?
Sure can. They got a playlist waiting for me to break down.
Sure can. All right. Dr. Octagonopus, thank you for asking the question.
Tune in Friday.
It's better than Dr. Octopus for sure.
Dr. Octa
Oh, man. Let's move it on now.
just
gotta be
falling
it.
off. His wheels are falling off.
I love it. Let's move it on now to Humboldt County fan who asked the question.
In the quarters that Texans game were all named after Star Wars movies, they would be The Rise of Salyer, The Return of the Mac, The Bandy Awakens, and The Eckler Strikes Back. Even Sith Lord Jerry Tillery looked good. Michael Bandy seemed to provide a Keenan-esque dimension to our passing game, while Lindsley renewed presence at center and Salyer looked more like an Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate at left tackle, made the O-line's performance more than serviceable. That is pretty far removed from the mess it seemed to be in just a few days ago. Perhaps my lack of faith is disturbing. but I am wondering if you all think our team depth is starting to live up to our preseason expectations, or am I just overreacting to a win against a shitty Texans team that we almost managed to blow again in the second half? F*** those pirate hookers with a lightsaber in the dark side. And their bitch-ass quarterback, too. K. Love you, bye.
Sith Lord Jerry Tillery was
Sith
He
Lord
looked good.
Jerry Tillery. Boy.
I don't think the Texans are that bad. They have been in every game they've played. They have not been blown out yet. They've been in every game they've played.
Right.
So
They tied.
I don't think it's safe to. I don't think it's safe to say. I don't think it's fair to say that we beat them. So we barely beat them. So we suck ass. Like I wouldn't say that.
Right. No, they are
The
winless. But
depth is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Finally.
like, even if our backups are beating the Texans, that's a good thing. Last year, our backups could not beat the Texans.
That's right.
We got riddled with COVID and we lost to them. So this year we have a lot of backups playing different spots, and we were able to get the victory, which should have been a very comfortable victory. I think those are all good things. You want to learn lessons like from the bad things you did in a victory as opposed to a loss. We win a game. That's a W on going towards making the playoffs. That's all that matters. Let's learn from the other stuff and fix it. Obviously, the second half wasn't good. We know that. The team knows that. They got to fix it, but they learned with the victory.
There you go. Thank you, Kyle. And thank you, Humboldt County fan, for asking the question. Let's
Great
move
question.
on now to DG, who asked the question.
Certified fresh? Yeah, it's certified fresh.
How can you put the journalist and sports journalist if, when Coach Staley mentions Sebastian Joseph Day had an owie hoo-ha that you don't know what it is? Were you born an adult?
Wait. Oh yeah, he said he had an owie. This was my favorite part of his press conference at the end of the game. He just had an owie. Like it just literally
He had an owie.
I do this shit all the time. He is a father of young kids.
Yeah.
I say Wawa all the time when I'm thirsty. When I need Wawa, it means water. Okay? That's just
Everybody
reality.
knows that.
Everybody knows
Justin, you want a Wawa? I'm going to get a Wawa. You want a Wawa?
So works. Do you have an owie? Yeah, that
You have an
fucking
owie?
hurts. That
You want me to
fucking
kiss
hurts.
it, make it better?
Yeah, my hand fucking hurts. I have an owie. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, I got an owie. It's good. I'm fine. It's just an owie.
Just a fucking owie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his quote. It's just a fucking owie. Get off my back.
Leave it alone. It's an owie.
But I love Coach. Honestly, if you go watch that clip again, Coach said it and realized he had a dad moment. You could see it on him. He's like, "Oh shit! I just called this thing an
It's called a
owie."
sports injury, an owie, for
Yeah,
a grown man.
It made me so happy that I'm not the only one that does that shit.
And for the record, I don't think the journalist didn't know what an owie was. I think he was looking for clarification, like, what owie? Like, what are we talking about here? Did he?
He said his hand. It's like
did
an
he get
owie.
a paper cut? Is he blow his kneecap? Like, what happened? Like, what's an owie?
It's
Like,
a fucking owie, man.
it's an owie. All right. Well, there you go, DG. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to the broads.
Oh,
Who asked the question? We won. We won. We won. We won.
we won. We won. We
won.
Kyle, gotta do better, Kyle.
We won.
I tried. You guys are being loud. And I'm trying not to wake up my whole house.
What was your favorite moment from Sunday's most beautiful game? And how much did you cry when Salyer got a game ball? What a great time to be alive. We won.
We won. We won. We won. We won. We won.
This is the kind of attitude that we need, though, guys.
Yeah,
we won.
Vibe.
Second half didn't look great.
We won.
We won.
We won.
Yeah. Favorite moment was Salyer getting the game ball. Honestly, like,
That was pretty rad. That was
I mean,
badass.
Giant hands holding
Monster
that tiny little
hands.
button of a ball.
it's not often.
You got
Threw him a Nerf ball.
I gotta go back and look at that again. I didn't notice.
I feel like they gave Eckler a real size ball and they gave Salyer a Nerf ball. Like
All
they
right.
had to have.
We got to take a pause real quick. Let's go find a picture of this. We've talked about it.
Oh
too
my
much.
God.
Pause.
Look at that thing.
That is
It's not a
insane.
real
That looks
size-
like a Nerf football.
Look at
Well,
Eckler's ball.
I mean,
and
you
then
look at
his
Eckler's ball and you look at his. They look the same size, but
They
he's such a
don't.
big boy. He makes
Eckler's
it
is like the size of his forearm, and Sawyer's ball, it looks like a little potato. It's not a football.
Coach, did you give him a potato? Is that what you
Coach,
did?
Get him a real ball,
fries.
Yeah, it man.
Wow.
Just his frame and the size of his hands. It's an optical
Not a real
illusion. It
football.
makes
It
it
really
look so
is.
much smaller than what it is. But God, what a moment! What a great moment of the game.
That's the moment right there.
Look at
that
his smile. Look at that.
Yeah.
So sweet.
And I heard that he was getting it like put in a case, and he was going to give it to his mom.
No.
Oh my
on.
God. Kill
Come
me.
on.
How cute is that?
I love
Oh my
it.
God, kill me. Kevin, you're all over the map tonight, dude.
Oh, God.
Shit.
I'm gonna need some ibuprofen after this.
I know.
So
My
much.
eyes still aren't the same after that one
We're
baby
close.
question.
We're almost
The
there.
baby, the sexy baby guy.
Baby question got me.
All right. Well, the broads, we love you so much. We love.
And thanks
seeing
for
your
representing
videos.
us. I watched all your videos. I love it. Thank you for keep it up.
Yes. Be safe
So
out
good.
there on the road. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with our old favorite Jeeves,
The D is
The
silent.
D is silent.
who asks the question. It was awesome, baby. Well, the first half was, baby, but I'm not gonna do that, baby. I'm gonna bring up our second half struggles, baby. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna talk about Lumbooty conservative play calls, baby. No. We're shamelessly positive, baby. And that first half was incredibly awesome, baby. We got too much to celebrate, baby. We got an egg sighting with 3 tutties, baby. We got a bandy sighting, which was crazy awesome, baby. We even got to look at possibly right tackle in the future, baby. It was too much awesome to be upset, baby. I can't wait to see the Jags again, baby. And hopefully it rains because that boy Trevor had butterfingers, baby. You see the pirate biatches and the donkeys, baby. Wilson is straight donkey shit, baby. They look like they were talking to each other, baby. They're saying, no, I suck. No, I suck. Watch this, baby. Okay, baby. My question is mostly for Coach, baby. What is our issue with running the ball, baby? What's the weak link, baby? We got beasts in the trenches, right, baby? What is it, baby? Let us know, baby. Baby. Dick out. And it feels great, baby. Oh, yeah. The Raiders killing my baby.
Jeeves is so good.
It's prime Jeeves.
Oh,
Shit, Jeeves.
Primo Jeeves.
Booty. I started laughing at Booty.
Oh,
That's
God.
really funny.
Oh, man. Don't take a shot every time I said baby. You'll
Don't
be
do
dead.
it. You're so
Don't
dead.
do it.
Baby.
All right, Kyle, what's wrong with the running game, baby?
I don't know. if I had the answer, if I knew, they would know and they would fix it. So I don't know. The only thing I could come up with is execution. Like we're not getting to blocks and staying on blocks long enough. It just seems like we're there for a second and then they're getting off block. I don't know. We're just not sticking on blocks. It's like the only thing I could see as I'm watching the game. I don't know why it's so different than last year with a very similar offensive line that should be better in the middle at least. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see a lot of block. Like I remember a lot more pulls last year. This is just as a general fan. I haven't looked at stats for how many times we pull. I just remember last year thinking like, wow, that was a big pull that just cleaned out that whole side and really opened up the running lane. It seems like a lot more zone stuff, kind of like you said, Kev, getting wide and instead of just attacking downhill with some power, more man scheme blocking. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping that we just get downhill, put the fullback in there. Let's just be bigger and stronger than him.
Behind him, Kelly. Go get us a whole bunch of yards. That's just like, I just want to see that start the game so you can kind of just pound that defense, just to be like, hey guys, we're here. And then you can start mixing it up. That's what I want to see.
Another thing that I saw that I don't know if it's consistent, but our wide receiver splits are real tight to the line of scrimmage, even when we're running the ball. And it seems like
keeps everything in.
Like, get out of there. I don't want to see like just get out of there. If we're running the ball, I don't want extra guys in the box. I want to be able to see clearly who the blocks are, and Justin could check out of it easier if he sees numbers in the box. I don't know. It just seems like it's a really congested box, even when we're running the ball. Spread the thing out. Get those wide receivers out of there. They suck at blocking.
You heard it here first, Jeebs.
I don't know.
There's the answer.
That was a great script, and we laughed the whole time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeebs, and thank you, everybody.
And also, way to not bring up the second half while bringing up the second half. That was ingenious.
We saw what you did there, Jeebs. All right. Well, Jeebs, thank you, and thank you, everybody, for asking questions. Again, you guys make these episodes what they are. Great scripts this week, folks.
Thanks,
great
guys.
scripts.
So
Love
fun.
it. So fun after a game that we win. But that, I think, is going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
It's so much fun. This was
winning.
fun.
Weeks that we win is so much more fun.
Oh my God, winning weeks are
weeks
better
that we win and we laugh as much as we do. I think we're all going to sleep pretty good tonight. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any play.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye,
baby.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Sunday. Get ready for the Helmet Card Demolition Derby. Watch Susie the Slammer take on Night Train Nikki. One night only. Be there for hot helmet on helmet action. No targeting penalties this night. Keep your flags at home. Helmet Card Demolition Derby. Be there.